So you've been in no contact with the avoidant ex for a while now, and suddenly they reach out, and you might be taken by surprise. But in reality, it's not really that much of a surprise. Avoidants do try to come back all the time when no contact is used. You see, when an avoidant discards you, they discard you because their avoidant fears, fears of engulfment, fears of abandonment, fears of rejection, these fears have been triggered. So as a defense mechanism, a brick wall comes up inside themselves and they block off access to their own feelings for you. This is why they can seem cold and shut down and lack empathy when they discard you. But when you go into no contact, they feel relief. There's no longer pressure to be something for you. There's no longer pressure to be emotionally available and vulnerable in the relationship. So over time, usually the course of 2 to 6 months, the avoidant begins to lower that brick wall and they allow themselves to access their feelings for you again. And this is when they can really regret the breakup, really miss you, and try to get back together. Now, what you do from here really makes all the difference in the world. First of all, you are not obligated to take this person back by any stretch of the imagination. You do not owe them anything. You do not have to put your heart on the line for them when they've already stomped on it once before. You are perfectly within your right to say, no thank you, I am not going to risk my heart like that. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who is capable of causing me this kind of pain. And it is your right to walk away, and that is perfectly okay, because that can be a boundary of yours that once you've been hurt like that, you don't have to go back. There are secure people out there, emotionally available partners, and you can spend some time healing to yourself and then go try to find somebody who is truly emotionally available. However, if you decide that this is a person you want to give another chance, that's your right as well. Keep in mind, it would be a massive, massive mistake to take this person back unconditionally. And by unconditionally, I mean no conditions at all. You just sweep it under the rug and you jump back into the relationship as if the discard never happened. If you do this, and it may be tempting for people to do because they miss this person so much, if you do this, you're enabling the avoidant. You are sending them the message that they can discard you. They can ditch you, blindside you, and still have you back at any time they want. That you are always an available option to them. And there's no consequences for that kind of behavior. And if you take them back unconditionally, not only are you enabling them, but you are setting yourself up to be discarded again, because there's no pressure, there's no burden on the avoidant to do any kind of healing work, because they know that they can have you back, and there's no consequences to that behavior. Now, if you want to protect yourself and still give this person another chance, taking them back conditionally is a much safer way to do it. Now, first of all, the avoidant, when they reach out to you, they should be the person to initiate conversation about getting back together. They're the ones that broke it. The burden is on them to try and start the repair to fix it. Once they've initiated that, conditionally, taking them back conditionally is the safe way to go. You could say something along the lines of, well, I'm open to getting back together, but this is what I need to see from you. And then you lay out your boundaries, your conditions. You can say, I need to see you in therapy. I need to see you working on your avoidant attachment. Talk about attachment theory. See if they can own it. A commitment to communication is another great one. That they can't just shut down and disappear, that they have to communicate with you. If they need space, they need to communicate that as well. Now, if they can take ownership of their attachment and take ownership of their behavior and actually commit to things like therapy, communication, or whatever you feel is justified and fit, that's a good sign. It's a good sign if they can commit to that. Because if they actually do the work, they are capable of healing and becoming healthy partners. However, if they don't take ownership and they're not really interested in committing to the work, they're telling you right then and there that you are very likely to be discarded by them again. Because if they're avoiding the work, well, they're still showing that their method of dealing with problems is to avoid it. Which means when their avoidant fears are triggered again, the fears of intimacy and abandonment and rejection and engulfment, they are very likely to cut and run again and discard you and blindside you all over again. Because people often make the mistake of thinking, well, they came back, they regretted it. They won't do that to me again. They discovered it was too painful to be without me. But if the avoidant doesn't do the work, they can discard you all over again. It happens quite often. And it hurts just as much the second, third, fourth, fifth time around. It is a very painful experience no matter how many times you've been discarded by the same person. So understand, setting those conditions is a protection mechanism for yourself to make sure that you are setting up the relationship to have the best chances of succeeding, and seeing that this person can actually do the work and take accountability for the way that they hurt you, and actually do the work to heal themselves so they don't do it again. If they're not willing to do the work and you still take them back anyway, you are setting yourself up for inevitable heartache and another inevitable discard. So, yes, you can give this person another chance. That is certainly up to you. Whatever you decide to do is perfectly within your right. If you want to take them back unconditionally, that's your right too. But understand, you'd be setting yourself up for tons of pain and heartache. And I don't think that it's a very emotionally healthy thing to do, to set yourself up like that knowingly. Because you know what? Your feelings, your heart matters. Take care of yourself and understand your own mental well-being is important. Being crushed like that is very devastating to the self-esteem, and it pushes people further into being insecure themselves. You deserve more than being discarded by somebody. Never forget that.